Welcome back. Yay, it's cookie time. How is everyone doing? I hope this video finds everyone safe and well. Today, I just want to share with you 3 super simple, frugal cookie and treat recipes that you can use for the upcoming holidays. They're really easy. Nothing is more than 4 ingredients. Not one recipe has more than 4 ingredients. How amazing is that? So if this sounds good to you, stick around. My name is Emmy. My husband is Paul, and we're an early retirement debt-free couple living in the Northeast, New York to be exact. And we just share our tips on how we make do on less money, but also while having a full and abundant life. So if this sounds good to you, consider subscribing, and by all means, if you enjoy this video, a big thumbs up. These cookie and treat recipes are not specific like Christmas cookie recipes. That's why I'm giving them to you now. You can use them anytime really. I'm thinking Thanksgiving. And Paul and I just blitzed it all in one day. I was like, okay, today's the day we're gonna film cookies for Thanksgiving and through the holidays. So I hope you enjoy them. We will be coming out with another video as it gets closer to Christmas with more specific Christmas cookies. So I don't wanna waste too much time today because this video is jammed packed with 3 amazing recipes. We're gonna be making 2 cookies and a candy recipe. Super easy, so yummy, and I hope you will enjoy our time together. We're going to be making Palmier cookies, and you're going to use 1 sheet of puff pastry. This is what this looks like. This was $1.99. So 1 sheet basically is $1. You can double the recipe to make 2, but I'm just gonna make 1 today to show you how to do it. I defrosted the sheet of puff pastry. And then what I'm gonna do is just smooth it out a little bit. We don't want any creases in it, if we can help it. So there we go. Now what I'm going to do is take 4 tablespoons of butter, and I'm going to melt them, and then I'm gonna let the butter cool. While the butter is cooling, I'm going to take a cup of sugar and a half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and I'm just gonna mix that together. And as soon as that butter is cooled, we'll take it to the next step. I have my melted butter, and now I'm just gonna brush it on the dough. Here we go. You're not gonna use it all because we're going to do the other side as well. But you wanna get all your corners and all around. Make it nice and buttery. I have to say this is one of my absolute favorite cookies for the holidays. They're super easy and oh my goodness, they are so good. So I did that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take half the sugar and I'm just going to sprinkle this around. Again, you're just going to use half of it because we're going to use the other half of the sugar once we flip this. Take the rolling pin because we want that sugar to be pressed into the dough. So this is what we're gonna do. Now we're gonna take this, we're gonna gently lift it. It's pretty pliable, so it doesn't break that easy, and the quicker you work, the better off you are. You wanna keep the dough as cold as possible. Now we're gonna flip that over and we're gonna repeat exactly what we did on that side to this side. And I know it looks a little straggly right now, but have faith. And then we're gonna just take the sugar and we're gonna do exactly what we did. We're gonna repeat, push this in. Now it's super easy to work with because both sides have the sugar on it. And what we're going to do is we're going to roll both sides to the middle. So what do I mean? Watch me roll. I would say that's about right. And then you're going to come in on the other side. Just like that. So right now I'm going to take this, I am going to wrap it in plastic wrap, and I am going to put it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes to an hour. Here is our palmier dough. We chilled it for about an hour, and now we're going to show you how we're going to slice them and bake them. First thing we're going to do is we're just going to trim off that uneven edge, and now we will go ahead and they're going to be cut about a 1/2 inch thick. And they look like a little heart. Look at this. How cute is this, right? You're going to put them 2 inches apart. I'm using my mat, the silicone nonstick mat, but you can use parchment paper. And then we're going to cook them at 425 for 5 minutes on one side. Then we're gonna flip them and do 6 minutes the other side. So these cooked for 6 minutes at 425. And now I'm just gonna take them and very gently flip them. These smell so amazing. Come on, you little one. So I'm just gonna finish this up and then we'll pop them back in the oven for another 5 minutes and then we'll check them. These look so good, and the more they set, the crispier they will become. And I'll show you once they cool what they're like. Look at that string of sugar. This is why I would definitely tell you to use a mat before you bake these. Look at the bottom. And you know I keep it real. That sugar came out, which I guess it would have. Makes sense that it did. We're gonna let them cool and then I'll show you. I'll break one and you can see the texture. But again, make sure you use a mat down because your tray would be very hard to clean, I would think. This made 18 cookies, counting the little ends. Keep an eye on them though, because they do burn quickly. These came out so beautiful. The end ones are a little different looking. I'll show you an end one. So that's okay though, you don't want to waste it. Those are the ones you eat before you serve, but these came out beautiful. Look at the bottoms. Look at these. I'm going to tell you something. I personally think I stuck with the recipe, but I think less butter and less sugar could have been used. There seemed like there was an abundance of sugar left over, even falling off the roll when I was rolling it. And the butter just seemed to leak out everywhere. Maybe cut it down just a little bit. When we took it out of the oven, that sugar and butter was so hot. It really is not something that you're gonna wanna let your kids near until the cookie is cooled. So here we go. Let's take a peek at one of these. All right, ready? Oh my goodness. Can you look at this? Oh, wow. Okay, I'm gonna bite it so you can hear it. Oh my gosh. These are so good. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, hands down. They're crunchy, they're light as air. What a glorious taste. They would make such a beautiful addition to a cookie tray, absolutely. So 2 thumbs up on me. We are going to make our cold marshmallow puffs. And this actually is a no-bake recipe, which is really fun. So I have a 9-inch pan. I put some foil in it. Make sure you hang the foil over the edges so we can just lift it out when it's done. Now I'm gonna take one of my butter wrappers And I am just going to grease this all over. What I'm going to do is now take marshmallows. These are like regular marshmallow size. And I'm going to line the bottom of the pan with these. This could not be an easier recipe, and the results are so yummy. Also, what's great about this is on the top of it, you can decorate it with sprinkles. You can put, I know some people call them jimmies, and that would look so pretty. So I'm just gonna finish this up. So there they are. That's 36 marshmallows. That's what we're going to aim for. Some of them are a little squish, but you're getting the idea. So 36 on the bottom. Now I'm going to melt 1 cup of chocolate chips, and I'm going to add a half a cup of peanut butter to that. So that's a cup of chocolate chips, and now I am putting a half a cup of peanut butter in with them. And I am just going to mix that around. I have it on low heat, and I am just going to mix this until it is incorporated. So I'm just going to keep it on low heat and gently turn it. So you can see how beautiful this is coming together. Like I said, it's just over a very low heat. And remember, when you're working with chocolate, make sure you don't get water anywhere near it. Make sure your pot is dry. Make sure your utensils you're stirring with are dry, because that will seize the chocolate. In other words, it'll get grainy and yucky. And you can see how great this is coming. You can use smooth peanut butter too, but I thought the chunky would be great for a little added extra crunch. Look at how beautiful this is coming. To this, I'm adding about 2 tablespoons of butter. And we're just gonna mix this in. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be so good. You can see how it's almost looking glassy, like it's shiny. I just took this mixture and I poured it on top. And now I'm just gonna take this and I am gonna spread this all around. Be careful, this chocolate is hot. You don't wanna get it on your fingers. Look at how easy this was. There you go. How easy is that? And now what we're gonna do is pop it in the refrigerator until it firms up, and then we're gonna cut it. Now at this point, if you wanted to, you could add some sprinkles on top, like I said, some jimmies, whatever you wanted to do. But this is as easy as it gets. So I chilled this for a little over an hour, and this is why I told you to let the tin foil overhang, because it lifted right out. And now what we're gonna do, look at how this works. It went right through. And now what you're gonna do is you're just going to very carefully cut it into pieces. And you're going to do it with each marshmallow, just like this. Just watch your fingers. And you can see exactly, look at this. Super easy, no bake, and they look wonderful. I'm going to show you this. Look at that. Just a fun treat. This was a super win. Our next recipe is a basic shortbread. It is buttery, it is crispy, it is amazing. I'm going to preface this recipe saying, when you look up a shortbread recipe, there are so many variations for the sugar aspect of it. Some use powdered sugar, some use regular white granulated sugar, and some use brown. So it's really a taste preference. We prefer powdered sugar. So this is a half a cup of powdered sugar. So I'm going to put that in, and then I'm going to add 2 sticks of butter, and I am just going to beat the butter and the sugar till it's nice and fluffy and cream together. The butter was at room temperature when I started mixing it, so the creaming process was delightful. Super easy. I like to use the powdered sugar because it doesn't leave you with big grains of sugar. So that's done. You can see how beautiful that creamed. Now what I'm going to do is add 2 cups of flour to the butter mixture. This is just 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Okay, so we have 2 cups full of flour all together. Now I'm going to put this down and I am going to let this mix for about 5 minutes. So I creamed it for about 2.5 minutes. I'm going to add a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract to it. Okay, so I'm going to continue on with my 5 minutes. I have 2.5 minutes left of mixing. Look at this dough. It is absolutely beautiful. You have to remember, shortbread is not a sweet cookie. It is buttery and it is rich tasting, but it's not overly sweet. So many times we're having cookie plates and everything is chocolate and overly sweet, and it's nice just to have this kind of cookie. So I just have a plain piece of plastic wrap, and I'm just gonna take the dough and put it right on the plastic, just like this. So now what we have to do to make sure this slices nicely and we get a nice crisp cookie, we're going to refrigerate it. So I'm just gonna take this, make a little package of it, and I'm just going to stick this in the refrigerator just like this and let it get cold. So here's our shortbread dough. This just came out. It was in about 30 minutes in the refrigerator. And the tip to really good shortbread is just letting this dough chill. So now I have to roll it out into a rectangle that's going to be about a 1/2 inch thick or so. Now these recipes do not make a lot of cookies. If you want to double them, by all means, double them. It's just going to be a couple of us for Thanksgiving. This is what I'm putting these away for. So I just wanted to make a couple to have and share with you all. Make these 3 inch by 1 inch. It's going to be just about 6 inches across, which is right there. So we're going to do a cut down the middle, and then they're going to be 1 inch pieces. Now this is approximate, so there we go. And then we're going to do approximately 1 inch cuts, just like this. You want to be careful if you're cutting on a mat like I am. I'm just gently pressing. I don't want to go through. I don't want to cut this. So that's all we're going to do. This is so easy. And I'm just putting them right on my cookie sheets. The dough is beautiful to work with. And then what I'm going to do is just take a fork and I'm just going to put a couple holes in them. Okay, just like this. And they are going to bake in a 325 oven for 20 minutes. And then we'll check them. And if you want them nice and perfect, I'm telling you, this dough is so easy to work with. Just touch up the sides a little, push them in. But that's all there is to it. And I am going to pop these in the oven and I will show you the outcome. Here are our shortbread cookies. Oh my goodness, they came out so beautifully. I cooked them for 25 minutes and they are just wonderful. Let me just show you the bottoms. Look at these. And they are crispy, they are buttery, just delightful. Another win. As you can see, those cookies are just a beautiful addition to a little dessert tray. You can serve super simple cookies, a little marshmallow chocolate treat, some fruit and nuts. Just lovely, beautiful presentation, and so easy. So I hope you enjoyed that. We had, like I said, so much fun doing it. It was a one-day extravaganza and the house smelled wonderful and we just had fun doing it. I did take those that we made and I froze them for Thanksgiving, which is next week. So I think they're gonna be perfect. I hope you are able to use at least one of these recipes, if not all three. There's not one that I would say I wouldn't make again. And you know what I would do with those shortbread cookies? But I wanted to keep the ingredient list to a minimal, so I didn't want to suggest it, but dip them in melted chocolate. Just take half of the cookie and dip it in some melted chocolate. Oh my goodness, that would send it over the top. But they are all so delicious. They really are, and they'd be a great accompaniment to any kind of little cookie tray you are presenting. So, thank you so much for watching. Please give this a big thumbs up. You know how much we love you and appreciate you. So, until our next video, we wish you blessings. Bye-bye.